What?
Hey, how about you have a little defensive maneuvering? Nice. We are live here at D'Evelyn High School for this matchup between the D'Evelyn Jaguars and your Valor Christian Eagles. I'm Landon Troker beside Nate Stein, and Valor is on a roll this year.
Yeah, they're looking great this season so far, 9-0, currently ranked 5th in the state. They've given a great run with a young team.
Absolutely, and D'Evelyn's got a special promotion going on. It's actually a cancer benefit night for a couple of their former players that are battling that. So our thoughts and prayers go out to them, and it's obviously a great thing to use the volleyball and be able to turn that into a fundraiser.
Yeah, there's a cookie sale going on outside the doors. All the proceeds are going to cancer funding for the alumni and current students, Ellie Brandon, Laura Schutte, and Luis Kimmy.
Yeah, so again, thoughts and prayers go out to them and their continued recovery and battle with that. It's always something very difficult to go through, but at such a young age, it's hard for the families and all their friends, but it's good to see the community come around them and support them like this.
Yeah, you got to believe that having their entire school support them, an event like this, a volleyball game, just making it so public and putting them out there, they got to love that support that they're gaining.
The Jaguars coming to this match 7-7, but they are 5-1 in the 4A Jeffco League, so they're doing a good job with that so far, and they're a pretty good squad.
Yeah, they've had a pretty great run in their league so far, but a tough out-of-league schedule.
Valor Christian comes in 5th ranked in 4A in the state of Colorado and 9-0, and we'll be back here on the Valor Sports Network. And we have a special treat here tonight. We have our sideline reporter, Peter Maris, who's going to be around the Eagles bench the entire night, and now we're going to send it over to him. We apologize for that, folks. They're having some difficulties down there. It's his first night on the job.
Yeah, you know how those newbies are.
Yeah, all those VSN oneers. But we will absolutely send it their way, or his way, a couple of times throughout the match. And he's going to be around Coach Nielsen and see what kind of the strategy that the Eagles are going to be employing.
Yeah, he's going to be listening mostly during the timeout, seeing what changes Coach Nielsen's going to employ and how he's going to handle this match. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, absolutely. Valor Christian, they've lost a total of 4 sets this year. One of them came a game ago against the Castleview Sabercats, where they were down 2-0 and came back and rallied and won that.
Yeah, they're having a great season. They were undefeated going into that match, still are, because they did have a comeback win, and that game was a true test for this team. And I think that they proved that they can go far this season.
Yeah, they absolutely have the talent to compete in the 4A ranks, and they are one of the top teams in the state, according to the Denver Post. And they have yet to lose a match despite not hosting a home match.
Yeah, as we mentioned in an earlier broadcast, I believe we mentioned the Mullen game, which was our technical first home game, but a pipe burst over the summer in the Valor Christian High School gym, and they're currently reflooring it, and they have not been able to play a home match yet.
Yeah, they were really trying to get that underway for the start of playoffs, and hopefully Valor Christian, I mean, if things go as it is, they'll more than likely host a district. So they're trying to get that all set up for them, and we are just about ready to get underway here at D'Evelyn. So we're going to see the Jaguars have the first serve, and that is going to be incredibly difficult to tell you the names of the Jaguars as they don't have numbers listed on their roster.
That is going to make it difficult.
So
test on mic check 3. Test mic 3.
And that was our fantastic VSN leader, Mr. Keith Wall, with that mic check right there. Thank you for putting in on this broadcast for us. We appreciate that.
So the Jaguars won the first point, and then they just went out there on the second one. So Valor Christian, the Jaguars are tied at 1 apiece.
And after a hitting error by Brooke Haskins on the first hit for Valor, she is now back to serve. You have to assume that she's trying to redeem herself there, and she does with a solid serve that caused a poor pass, but then the Devlin Jaguars were able to put it away.
Yeah, Haskins down in that corner appeared like she kind of thought it was going to be out and didn't really make an effort for it, but it was in.
Yeah, oftentimes it's so hard to read the ball where it's going. You really have to develop your eye to see whether it's going to be out and know your position on the court.
Kind of something interesting I'm noticing here in this gym is it appears like they have a really low ceiling for volleyball.
Yeah, it's fairly low. Mainly that'll come into play with the tarp above the net, but oftentimes the ball isn't crossing the plane of the net that high. And also if there is a high pass that goes up on the back row, those basketball hoops that we can see, I'm not sure if you folks at home can see it, but those could possibly come into play on a high pass off a serve.
And my understanding is you just play it.
Yeah, oh yeah. Play it off any ceiling or obstructions coming from the ceiling as long as it stays on your side. But walls are out of bounds, and if it touches the ceiling then goes over to the other side, it's the point other team.
And that's going to be a high serve controlled easily by Kelso. Oh, and a good hit there by Cassidy Worth, but it's controlled by the D'Evelyn defenders, and now they send it back over. Kelso.
Nice easy roll shot there.
Oh, and Baldwin tries to go over on 2.
This D'Evelyn team is showing that they're not going to give in even though Valor is undefeated this year. They're covering very well on swings, and as I say that, a nice hard swing down the line gets the kill for Valor.
Yeah, that was a great hit there for, I believe it was Cassidy Worth.
Yeah, she's got one of the best swings on the team. She's a very powerful hitter.
Yeah, Valor's got that big, tall front line, and they use it effectively a lot as well as such an exceptional setter in Sam Baldwin. Oh, and that's a good block from Worth.
Great block right there. You have the setter, Sam Baldwin, who's in the front row, so she is allowed to block, pairing up with the middle hitter and middle blocker, Cassidy Worth, and they get the block and the kill.
Yeah, great job there for Worth to get up there. She's about 6'2" or 6'3", and that's a poor pass that goes well out, and D'Evelyn can't control it, so Valor Christian getting some momentum here.
That was a poor pass, but that was also a fantastic serve. You could see on that ball there was absolutely no rotation. It was like a knuckleball dancing all around. It's so hard to get a read on those serves.
Yeah, it does it again. That's number 6, Carly McNeely, back for Valor, as that is killed for Valor Christian. Right hit.
Overpass right there by the D'Evelyn Jaguars off the serving. Great recognition by Kate Gibson to be able to go up and put it away.
So again, we'd like to apologize for not being able to bring you the names of the D'Evelyn players. We have their names. Unfortunately, we don't have their numbers, so we can't really match those up.
Yeah, on that last play, attempted block by Cassie Worth and Sam Baldwin again, but a very smart play by the D'Evelyn outside hitter. Just push it through the block, get a touch, and the Valor Christian Eagles were not able to handle it.
And Baldwin does a good job of controlling that pass and gets it into the middle, so Valor Christian can bring it over. And now the hard hit off someone in the Valor Christian back line.
I believe that was Savannah Cressman, the libero, wearing the opposite color jersey.
So D'Evelyn leading 6-5 early in the first set. That serve goes to McNeely. Baldwin and to Worth, but Worth catches the block, and D'Evelyn is going to have to send this over.
Very athletic play by the D'Evelyn defense right there, off the block, but still able to corral it and make the play and put it back over.
Couldn't do the same again as a hard hit from Kate Gibson sends it into the D'Evelyn block, and it falls for Valor Christian point. Now Gibson will go back to serve. Her serve finds the D'Evelyn back line, and that's going to be out.
Ooh, just long. If she just took a little bit off that could have caught a piece of the line and been a great ace, great momentum swing right there for Valor.
Fortunately, now it sides right back out to the Jaguars. And now we're going to see the hit from Kelso, and she goes to the back line, but that's well out. Didn't quite get enough downswing on it.
Yeah, didn't quite snap her wrist enough, didn't get quite enough topspin to send it down. But you got to love that the Eagles are going for the back line, making the defense think about whether it's going to be in or out on every ball.
Gibson controls that in the back line. Now she's going to send it over across the court. No, the set going to be controlled by the D'Evelyn
Great back row
defender.
swing right there. Those are so hard to pass, especially if there's no block up because you have no idea where the ball is going to end up going.
So Valor Christian has Cassidy Worth back to serve. Oh, and she finds a D'Evelyn defender who passes it back and into the wall. So another Valor Christian point.
And again, just a very strong float serve is what the volleyball term is, but it's, again, like a knuckleball in baseball, dancing all around. Hard to get a solid pass on that and get all of your arms on it.
And that gets over the block of Valor Christian, but Cassidy in the back line gets it. And Kelso just pokes it over. Oh, and a good dig there. Now the Jaguars live for another point.
Very good tip by Kelso right there.
Oh, and a good hit to the back line by Brooke Haskins, and that's in.
That was out. Very, very, very close. Looked like it could have caught a piece from our angle, but the line judge did not see it that way.
I think me and you both thought it was in, Nate, but they seem to disagree with us, and they're the ones who matter, so
Yep.
D'Evelyn reclaims the lead.
Unfortunately, we have no say in the calls in this game.
Oh, and a miscommunication by Valor Christian on the set.
Yeah, it looks like a little bit of a mix-up between Brooke Haskins and Kate Gibson. Not sure if Sam Baldwin, the setter, was setting a slide for Brooke, going off one foot, coming across the net, or a back row swing by Kate, coming forward.
And that's just going to be sent over by Cressman. Oh, and a good block by Valor Christian, but someone's in the net.
I believe it was Brooke Haskins. She was a little bit over-enthusiastic on that block, pushing through and just caught a piece of the net, and that will be a point for D'Evelyn.
So D'Evelyn going on a bit of a run, up 3 here. McNeely didn't get all of that, and Valor Christian sends it over.
Great defense right there. Great cover off the block. Took a little bit of a weird bounce. D'Evelyn was able to corral it.
Good hit by Clara there to send it down the line off the block, and that's out. So a good way to use that block to send the ball to a place where the D'Evelyn defenders can't quite get to it and get a point and side out for Valor Christian.
Yeah, that's one thing that this Valor girls team is very good at. They have great ball control when they're up in the air, great control of their swings, and they can put the ball pretty much wherever they need to.
The Jaguars get a good hit there, but Kaylee Miller is there for Valor Christian. Kelso sends it back in. That's going to be a tip, I believe.
It would appear that the Eagles are running a 6-2 formation this game, where you will have 2 setters of the 6 players on the court. So whoever's in the back row will be setting at all times, whether it be Kaylee Miller or Sam Baldwin, and whoever's in the front row will be a hitter. Interesting strategy to use, and it's very useful if you do have 2 players that can set and can also hit, because that keeps you from losing a hitter in the front row when the setter is front row in a 5-1.
2 sets in a row there, and Kelso sends it over, but the block controls it for the Jaguars. Now that's down the line, but Baldwin is there. And a long cross-court set there, and Kelso just kind of taps it over. Oh, and that's a point for the Jaguars as they find a hole in the defense.
And like the Valor Christian Eagles are running a 6-2 offense, looks as if the Jaguars are running a 5-1, only 1 setter, and that is why Kelso went up for the block when the setter was setting it. She wasn't sure if it was going to be a dump or not.
And that gets up near the basketball hoop with it.
Very close, and you could see Savannah Cressman preparing to make a move, make an athletic move on it if it did go off the hoop and then took a weird bounce.
Oh, and a little bit of scrum up for the ball on the net.
Yeah, nice little joust there.
And that's going to the point's going to go D'Evelyn's way as that's down the line and out.
And the score will be 13-10 in favor of the Jaguars. Back to serve.
Valor Christian sets this up, and a good hit there by Haskins, and then the pass is out.
Block was a little bit early there, so Haskins got a free shot, so to speak. Great dig by the defense, but just out on the overpass.
Kelso with the serve. Gets it to the D'Evelyn Jaguar back line. Oh, and a great block there by Gibson. Knocks it straight down.
In volleyball terms, we like to call that a roof because it's almost as if the hitter hit it straight off the roof and straight back down into the floor. Valor on a run now. Kelso still serving.
Yeah, Kelso doing a good job with that frozen rope serve.
Yeah, it's floating all around, dancing, and that causes the overpass, so Gibson can put it away on the first touch.
That finds the libero on the back line for the Jaguars. Now they have a chance to do something. Oh, and just mistimed the jump and the hit there. So.
Yeah, it appears the hitter was a little bit early, went up, and realized that the ball was going to be higher than they could reach, and just barely tipped it, but not enough.
Kelso again goes to the back line. That's a long cross-court set. Oh, and it's overpassed and killed by Miller.
Yeah, it's a very difficult set. If you put your setter too tight from the pass, they will oftentimes put it over because they can't get it perfectly straight every time.
But I believe she was in the net, so D'Evelyn is going to get the serve.
Yeah, it appears that on this follow-through, Kelso did catch a piece of the net. Unfortunate for Valor because it's a 2-point swing, but the game is all tied up with D'Evelyn serving.
Oh, and a hard hit by Gibson, and that's going to be overpassed. Miller's going to control it.
Looked as if it might have been out.
Oh, and a great hit.
Great swing off the side of the arms of the passer and up into the stands up there by our great cameraman, Mr. Matt Fontenot.
Doing a great job for us up in that corner. A little bit of a tough angle that our cameras are working with here, kind of the way we're set up broadcasting here, but we're thankful that the Jaguars let us come out and do this.
Yeah.
The libero controls it. Oh, and that's going to go right into the wall.
Great block right there. The hitter saw that there were two up, so tried to tip to the middle because the way coaches like to describe it is there's a little bit of a donut hole in the middle of the court oftentimes because you'll have your three back row players covering the back line, then the off blocker covering their sideline. So there'll be a hole right in the middle where you can often tip, but the block was just too strong and went up and over.
Yeah, Worth is just such a dominating player on the front line with her height advantage. Also has great hops, to bring in a basketball term.
Yep, she can certainly get up.
And Valor Christian leads by one. The Jaguars serve down the line and out, and that's as a coach, that's just kind of a waste of a point.
Yeah, you see the coach over there. Devlin had just sided out. The coach had a clearly exasperated look on her face, just sided out and already lost it with the service error. Got to cut those out if you want to be a strong program.
Good serve by McNeely to the back line, and that's going to be a long pass backwards, but the libero gets there, and a 3-point here for Valor Christian. And it's killed there by Cassidy Worth.
Great athleticism on the second touch for D'Evelyn by the libero. She got back there on a very difficult pass that ended up going backwards and was able to put it back into the middle of the court, which is exactly what you want to do off a first pass shank.
So timeout here. Jaguars, I believe. Valor Christian leads 18-15 in the first set here on the Valor Sports Network. And now we'll send it down to Pete Maris.
Hello, this is Peter on the sideline, and coming to tell you that Coach Nielsen just gave his players a talk, congratulating them for their play so far and their great comeback, and also making a few minor adjustments. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Peter Maris.
So, yeah, good point there for Valor Christian, extending its lead.
Yeah, Clara Kelso put it over on the second touch there, but she saw there was a hole in the defense in the back corner and sent it there and forced the libero to make a diving play, which she did get up, but it was then overpassed for Cassidy Worth to put away.
And that was sent long and out. So side out, and D'Evelyn gets the serve. It's a high serve to the back line. And a good hit there by Gibson down the line, but unfortunately that's going to be out.
Yeah, she saw a line was wide open because the blockers are going up and trying to take away cross court and just barely missed it, put it just wide.
Yeah, great vision to look down the line and see an opportunity.
That's something you got to develop if you're going to be a good hitter in this game. You have to be able to go up and read the block and see where the hole in the defense is. Jaguars back to serve now.
And they're making a little bit of a comeback. Valor had a 4-point lead down to 1. And Worth hits it in the block and then hits it right back over. And
Now the ref said did not touch the block. He called 4 there. You are not allowed to have 4 touches on one side. And Worth put it off what looked like off the block, but the way the ref saw it, just caught the tape. Timeout called by Coach Lars Nielsen for Valor Christian. We'll be right back on the Valor Sports Network.
We are back here on the Valor Sports Network. D'Evelyn back to serve, 19-all in the first set. And that serve goes to the back line. Cressman, a little bit of miscommunication, but it's dealt with. And that was overpassed and then kind of punched out by Gibson. So D'Evelyn takes the lead.
The server for the Jaguars right now has a very, very difficult serve. She has a little bit of side spin on it. So it's not just a normal float, but it's not just a normal topspin serve.
Yeah, hard to deal with if you're Valor Christian, but they're going to do it this time. Gibson pokes it over. Oh, and into the net, and D'Evelyn can't get it over.
Great volleyball IQ, smart play right there for Gibson to see the hole in the defense and put it just enough over the block to make them make the mistake.
Valor Christian back to serve. Gibson with the hard hit. Gets the back line, and now a hit there. Oh, poked over, but Cressman is there.
Read it very well.
Oh, and that's going to be overset and over by Kelso, but Cressman, the back line goes for the dig, and a good hit by
very interesting exchange right there between the Eagles and the Jaguars. It looked as if Kelso sent that one over on purpose, but it caught a piece of the net, which makes you think that maybe it was just a miscue.
So Valor Christian down here late in the first set. Gibson finds the libero back there. Oh, and that's a high pass and back to the back line. Gibson there. Kelso with the hit to the libero again. That gets up towards the rafters.
This libero's making some great moves on the ball, reading the swing very well.
Overpass there by Gibson, unfortunately. And Valor Christian will pay for that as the D'Evelyn Jaguars get the point.
Great play by the D'Evelyn hitter, able to change her swing at the very last second to put it where the defense was not.
Libero back to serve. Cressman on her knees, controls it. Kelso back to Libero. She's doing a great job in that back line. And that's hit across the court, and 4 hits on D'Evelyn. So Valor Christian gets the point, and 22-21, and this set's coming down to the wire.
That was a very important side out right there for Valor. If they did not get that, instead of a 1-point game and D'Evelyn needing 3 points to win, that is what it is now. But D'Evelyn could have had a 3-point lead and only needed 2 to win, which is a very big difference late in the set.
Oh, and the block there, and that's killed by number 4 for the Jaguars.
Very strong swing right there. Smart play to see that she had the setter blocking her so that she could make a hard swing down the line with almost no block.
So D'Evelyn with the ball and the lead. Valor Christian endangering of dropping a set.
If they did, it would be the 5th of the year.
Which is remarkable. And Kelso just sets it over. Oh, and Kelso up there on the block.
Great joust right there, able to read the setter going over right away.
Baldwin has the block on that. Now Baldwin with the set. Oh, she tries to dump it over.
See, Valor's seemingly a little bit desperate, sending it over on 2 oftentimes, just trying to get a cheap little point, getting sneaky with it.
And that falls off the block. Kessler hit it to the block, and then it falls on Valor's side. Timeout Nielsen. Valor Christian down 3, 24-21 here in the first set. And now we will send it down to Peter Maris on the sideline.
And Coach Nielsen was just encouraging his players to calm down a little bit and play hard. And looks like Valor's going to make a few adjustments here.
And we're back here. Set point for the Eagles. Gibson in the back line. Good set. Oh! Now D'Evelyn on the offensive. That's going to be set over. McNeely there. Oh, and she misset it, and that's going to fall. Valor Christian drops the first set, 25-21.
Only their 5th set loss on the year, which is a very impressive number. You have to believe that Coach Nielsen has exactly what he wants to say written down already, and he knows exactly what he's going to change for this second set to win it.
So we'll be back at the resumption of play here from D'Evelyn. Valor Christian down 1-0 here on the Valor Sports Network.
I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. I've failed over and over and over again in my life. And that is why I succeed.
And we are getting ready to be back. And Kelso's going to open up this game with a serve for Valor Christian.
Nice little float sent in right there, just trying to get something going.
And that's off the block into the back row. And now a good set here and an opportunity for Gibson to do something down the line, but D'Evelyn has it defended. Now they send it over, and the back line controlled by Kelso. Oh, and a little tap over.
Great tip by Kaylee Miller right there. She knew exactly what she wanted to do with it, but still sold the swing by going up with both hands hard.
Yeah, she's getting a lot more playing time now than she did at the beginning of the year.
I think that's partially because Nielsen does like to run the 6-2, likes being able to have 3 hitters at all times, and also the setter in the back row.
Kelso back again for Valor Christian. Off to a good run here. Maybe calm down a bit. It is a big student section for the Jaguars. Oh, that's struck well into the block and then deflected out for another Valor Christian point.
There's something to be said about playing in this D'Evelyn gym. No matter what the sport is, they always draw a crowd, and these students are just fantastic.
Yeah, basketball first-hand encountered that last year in the league tournament championship, which they won and avenged a loss as that hits that antenna sticking up out of the pole for another out of the net, for another Valor Christian point. But yeah, basketball revenged the last regular season game where they lost to the Jaguars, and they avenged that loss when they came here, and it was a great environment. The gym was packed. It was standing room only.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but both those games came down to the last 2-3 points, did they not?
Yeah, absolutely. It was a well-contested match. Both schools had great teams as that's out for another Valor Christian point. D'Evelyn made it to the grade 8 and Valor Christian all the way to the Final Four. And Valor Christian excited about basketball once again this year, and recently hired a new coach.
Yeah, he used to be the University of Colorado Buffaloes basketball coach.
So Valor Christian finally sees their run come to an end. That is Coach DeGray, the new boys basketball coach here at Valor Christian.
Yeah, great run to start off the second set by Kelso, bringing it off to a 5-0 lead. Then run is ended by D'Evelyn, is now 5-1.
Kelso from the back line hits it over, tries to find the back corner, but it's out.
Just out right there. Looked as if the call could have gone either ways, but I don't really have a great angle.
And that, a little send over there. Oh, and that finds a hole in the Valor defense.
Dug out of the net right there, and a great play.
So D'Evelyn making a run of their own on their first serve. And they find the backline Cressman there, the libero for Valor Christian. Sent over by Gibson. Oh, and that's just a set. Pop it over the block there and drop it in.
And again, very smart play by the D'Evelyn hitter to realize that the line defender was playing really far back and just drop it in short.
So D'Evelyn making a run of their own to combat Valor Christians. It's now 5-4, Valor Christian leading. And this is a poor pass back, and now that's going to be a high pass. It's going to be struck into the net. Valor Christian gets the side out.
Great play by Kaylee Miller right there to get the block straight into the ground. And you can see that on every play that they win, Kaylee Miller is making a pretty big deal out of it. She is trying to bring this team some energy, which is great if you're a coach. You love seeing that.
And that's Brooke Haskins back for the serve, the junior. And she will take this hit from the D'Evelyn back line. Gibson will push it over with her left, and it'll fall Valor Christian's way.
Great play right there. Play it off the block. Try to keep them from getting a pass.
Haskins back to serve again. That's a good left-handed hit. And Valor Christian couldn't dig it. Miller and Baldwin diving for it.
Yeah, it tipped the block a little bit, so that makes it so much harder as a passer to get a good view on where it's going. And that is the reason for the miscue and the point for D'Evelyn.
And that's going to go to the back corner. Cressman controls it. And that's just going to be punched up there and poked over. And all the way across the court. Oh, and a strong strike there.
Great swing by Gibson going down the line. Even though there was a defender there, she's got a powerful enough swing that did not matter and forced the pass to go out.
Yeah, had a lot of tempo on that there. And McNeely back to the serve. We'll see if she continues with that knuckleball serve.
I'm not a betting man, but if I was, I would say she will.
And she'll do that and clips the top of the net. And Valor Christian controls it. Oh, high set. That was up in the rafters.
Ceiling almost came into play right there. Could have made it very difficult for the third ball to be sent over.
And that's sent down the line for the D'Evelyn point.
D'Evelyn is making a run for it right here after being down 5-0 early. They're now only down by 2 points with a score of 8-6 here in the second set.
Cressman controls it. Gibson going to have the hit again. She pokes it over. Oh, and that's going to be sent over on 2 by D'Evelyn.
D'Evelyn trying to get a little bit crafty there.
Gibson off the block, and then another D'Evelyn defender, and out for the Valor Christian points.
In women's volleyball is mostly the strategy of where you try to put the ball in the swing, but the way Gibson plays, she brings power into play too, which makes her a great player.
Yeah, gets a lot of momentum on a lot of those frontline shots. Oh, and that's sliced down the line and in.
Yeah, Cressman seemed pretty confident that it was going out. She stepped off, but seemed to just come back in a little bit
had a
and
little
catch
bit
a
of
piece.
a cutting movement on it. So a great second set like the one we saw in the first, and we're in for some good volleyballs. That's hit long and out by Cassidy Worth.
Smart idea by Cassidy Worth right there, seeing that there was a hole in the back left corner and trying to swing high and deep. Just a little bit too much.
Couldn't quite get it into the back corner. Oh, and that's hit into the block, and Valor Christian sends it right back into the D'Evelyn court, and they couldn't control it. Valor Christian with the point.
Great block there by Cassidy Worth. Blocked from her straight into the head of the D'Evelyn opponent. And then out.
And that's going to be sent straight back to the middle of the line. Oh, and hard hit, but the block is there for Valor Christian. Baldwin passes it. Oh, and a good little tap over there to keep the point alive by Gibson again into the block. And that's going to be 4 hits on D'Evelyn.
Called the 4. The way the ref saw it, there was no touch on the block there by Sam Baldwin. He saw it off the tape, and therefore it was a 4-touch call.
Yeah, he's called that numerous times tonight. You see again that Cassidy Worth is going after that back line, and that's off the block and deflected down. So
yeah, it seems as
out.
if Coach Nielsen is having his players go for the back line a lot. I think that's because, as a coach, he wants to make the other team think about whether the serve will be in or out. If they don't have to think, it's easy to pass it. But when they start thinking, that's when they get into trouble.
Valor Christian does a great job there. Kelso lofts it over.
Lofted back to the end line, and then D'Evelyn was able to corral it and send it back over and get a kill off it. If you're just joining us here, we are in the second set. Valor is up 11-10, but in the match, they are down 1-0. With D'Evelyn taking the first match with a score of 25-21.
That's a high overpass that's sent down by Haskins. Oh, and that's going to be sent into the net, and the D'Evelyn players visibly upset with that.
Great defense on that overpass swing by D'Evelyn. Is so hard to block a hitter like Brooke Haskins when there's no block up, nothing to deter at all. But D'Evelyn kept their cool and was able to get the pass up.
Baldwin with the serve now. Oh, and Kelso on the overpass smashes it.
Used the block to her advantage in that one. That was a very strong swing by Kelso.
Yeah, the overpass came to cost the Jaguars there. It's Baldwin back to serve again.
And the strong swing there reminds me of the last volleyball broadcast we did. Mullen had a couple players like Kelso and Gibson, could really hit the ball hard.
Yeah, they did. Valor Christian won that match at the Ritchie Center at DU, 3-0.
The last set going into extra points. I believe Valor won it with the score of 27-25. Normal games are played to 25, but it is win by 2.
Yeah, that was a great piece of volleyball, and that is down on Valor Christian's side. Kaylee Miller couldn't get to it to send it over.
Can't put too much blame on Miller for that one. That set coming from the back row is so difficult to track over your shoulder and then be able to go up and make a swing on it.
Oh, and Haskins down the line, and that's out.
That looked like it could have caught a piece, but the way the line judge saw it, it was not the case.
And that's into the net and down for a Valor Christian point, 14-13.
And another service error right there. I believe D'Evelyn has 2 or 3 on the night, coming in both in the first set and this set. So far, it hasn't been too detrimental, only down 1 in the second set and 1 the first set. So let's hope this one doesn't come back and bite them.
And that's a long set across the court that's through the hands of the blocker, Haskins there.
Back to serve, D'Evelyn.
They're going to send this over towards Kate Gibson there, who will also take the hit on it and into the net, or 4 hits as he had that in the net and not into the block once again.
There was no block up on that time, so it was a fairly easy call for the up ref to make.
Oh, Haskins with a great cross-court strike.
Yeah, that was a cutback swing right there. She's playing in the middle, so 2 tempo, a little bit higher. And she just went up and was able to swing back across her body and put it away.
She's back to serve here. Oh, and Worth goes up for the
Great
block.
block right there. That dynamic duo in the front row, Gibson and Worth going up on that block. Very, very hard to get a swing past them.
And switching out the balls there is Haskins back to serve. And that's going to be long from Haskins. So side out and a tie volleyball match here.
And again, Coach Nielsen telling his team to send the ball to the back line on the serve, make that D'Evelyn defense think about it. Make them think about whether it's going to be in or out.
And now we're going to...
There's some debris on the court, so it appears, and that will be handled by the line judge. And then hopefully we'll be resuming play right away.
D'Evelyn with the serve. That's it to the back row. Kelso. Baldwin. Oh, and Gibson, and that's going to be a Valor Christian point as that's off the block. The diving attempt made by the libero sent it towards the
fantastic off-speed swing by Kate Gibson right there. After pounding a few into the block and using the block against D'Evelyn, she then cuts it back and uses their anticipation of the hard swing against them.
Yeah, a great way to mix up the defenders. And that's hit cross court and out.
Great eye by Gibson. Great recognition of where she was on the court to recognize that that ball was going out wide.
We continue to see Coach Nielsen giving some direction for the serves.
Yeah, he's holding up a close fist, which is the zone 6, which is middle back. He really wants his team to be pounding that back line.
Yeah, I've seen that come from him a lot. And that's dropped into that donut hole in the middle you were talking about.
It's always there. No matter what type of defense and what team you're playing, that donut hole will be there.
And a timeout here. So we'll be back. Valor Christian leading 19-16 here on the Valor Sports Network. And we'll get ready to send it over to Peter Maris down on the sideline.
So Coach Nielsen just talked about having his players maybe work the line a little bit more and keep the ball higher. And other than that, try to get a little more energy and noise out there. Back to you guys.
So Valor Christian continues to lead here, and that's hit a hole found there for the D'Evelyn hitter. And they get the point there and the side out.
Yeah, D'Evelyn has been having a lot of success this match going down the line. Valor Christian continues to take away the cross-court shot. Maybe it's time to start thinking about taking away the line shot.
And that ball comes in towards us over in the broadcast booth.
Got lost in our feet underneath our broadcast stand. It's just a fold-up table.
And the libero there sends it over for the Jaguars. And that's overhit and tapped down.
Some miscommunication there between Baldwin and Kelso. Looked as if Baldwin was going for the set, but Kelso just took over and tried to send one over.
And we'll see what the D'Evelyn can do. They're on a run, and it's tied up. Cressman controls it. Baldwin with the set. Gibson with the hit. And down the line, and that is on this side of the pole, and I saw it that way as well.
Yeah, I'm not sure the line judge knows what that call is. Usually it is just holding the flag straight up and waving it around, but he made a motion to say it is on this side. Interesting call right there.
I think Gibson knew that as well.
She was hoping to get away with one, though.
And that's out. So
good communication there from the bench. You could hear all the players yelling that the ball was out and making it very easy for Cressman to know that it was out and not to play it.
Gibson back to serve. She just kind of goes with your standard serve, doesn't try to do too much with it. And Kelso pokes it over, but D'Evelyn is there.
Great
and
cover right
now
there.
Now they send it over, and that gets over the head of Cressman. 21-20, and timeout Valor.
Again, Kelso getting drawn in with the front row setter, trying to prevent the dump. And then there's no block up when this swing comes.
And we'll be back here on the Valor Sports Network. And we're going to send it over to Peter Maris.
So Coach Nielsen right there was just talking about congratulating his players on defense for the excellent job they've done and telling them to keep the ball a little bit higher and not be so stagnant. All right, back to you guys.
Again, what Coach Nielsen said about the team not being stagnant, I believe that is why he has Kaylee Pierce on the floor. Although she is not right now, but when she is, she brings a lot of energy. Or Kaylee Miller, excuse me. Kaylee Pierce is the outside hitter that graduated last year. Went on to play at the University of Northern Colorado, Colorado Christian. I am all over the place today. I apologize.
And a little bit of a meeting there. I think they were talking about the scoreboard. Sour worms. And serve for D'Evelyn coming.
And I believe what Coach Nielsen said about keeping the ball up higher sunk in because that pass was nice and high, and Kelso was able to put it away down the line.
Worth back to serve now for the Eagles. And she sends it towards that back line. And that's passed over hard, but controlled by Gibson. Kelso with the hit off the block and out, and it's tied up here late in the second set.
Great tool right there by Kelso. She was able to put it off the block and get the kill.
Savannah Cressman back now for the serve for Valor Christian. 3 points away. Oh, and they're going to send it over on two, but Valor's there.
Very crafty right there. Front row setter able to dump it over and try to catch the defense off guard.
Cressman controls that, and that's going to be set over and a lift called.
Very interesting call right there. I'm not sure who he was calling the lift on. Didn't appear to be a lift to me.
I don't think Coach Nielsen agrees with that necessarily. Had a bit of a little sly smile on his face. But the Jaguars get the side out in the point. And Cressman with the slide to Haskins. And that is off the block and down the line.
There's a saying that my men's volleyball team like to say after a questionable call when we win the point, we like to say the ball never lies. Back to serve now, Baldwin.
A really reliable server for Valor Christian. And that's going to be into the block. Miller up there, and that's going to set.
Yeah, that set was nice and high. Gave the defense a lot of time to figure out where they wanted to set their block.
Gibson in the back row controls it. Good set there again to Kelso. And that is going to be off the block for a Valor Christian point.
Great swing right there. Able to get it off the top of the block.
And the timeout here. Set point for Valor Christian here on the Valor Sports Network. We'll send it back over to Pete Maris.
That was a very excited huddle right there, and Coach Nielsen was just telling his players a couple of minor defensive adjustments, just where to line up and which players to play when. Back to you guys.
Valor Christian still has set point here. And that's into the block and down, and Valor wins the set.
Great block right there. Very clutch to be able to get that block on set point and tie this match up.
So we're going to take it into the next set, all tied up here on the Valor Sports Network.
Don't talk to me about destiny.
Destiny doesn't run a 5K before every practice.
I don't really like Destiny. Destiny doesn't push this hard.
Destiny's never driven 2 hours to practice.
I bet Destiny can't do this.
Destiny doesn't get back up! Again.
And again.
And again.
By the way, that was some luck.
I bet you Destiny's not doing this.
Destiny makes excuses.
Destiny doesn't remember.
With 5 seconds left, Destiny panics.
Destiny doesn't decide if we win.
We do.
We do.
We do.
We do. We do.
Some people listen to themselves rather than listen to what others say. These people don't come along very often. But when they do, they remind us that once you set out on a path, even though critics may doubt you, it's okay to believe that there is no can't, won't, or impossible. They remind us that it's okay to believe impossible is nothing.
Someone look at you. You out something.
We are back here on the Valor Sports Network, all tied up at 1 set apiece. Valor Christian in the far court in blue, D'Evelyn in the near court in white. I'm Landon Troca besides Nate Stein for some volleyball tonight.
It's been a great night so far. Valor struggled a little bit in the first set, lost 25-21, but then came back and were able to take the second set.
Yeah, now they got the momentum, and we'll see what D'Evelyn does, but really some good volleyball so far, close sets.
Yeah, some fantastic volleyball. This D'Evelyn team's record is very deceptive. They are a better team than that 7-7 record.
And we'll see what Valor Christian does. Maybe they can get a quick side out and then try to go on a bit of a run. And that goes into the net.
Ask and you shall receive. Very quick side out right there. Service error by D'Evelyn. Valor will side out there. Kelso back to serve.
The server immediately exits the game, and the libero comes in.
That could be because the server was a middle hitter, and they don't normally play back row. And that is why the libero would come in.
And that's punched over on the fourth hit. So Valor Christian off to an early lead.
Just like the second set, they're up 2-0. Let's see if Kelso can keep the run going just like in the second set.
That shot goes down the line into the back corner to the middle, and now poked over and off the block.
Seems as if that spoke too soon. Just off the block and down on the Valor side. Score will be 2-1 in favor of the Eagles.
think we might see a little jump serve here. That's what we do see.
Nice jump float right there, getting a little bit of motion there.
Oh, and down the line, but
that will be Valor Christian's point. Even though that ball was dug up, the down ref saw one of the blockers in the net.
Haskins back to serve now. D'Evelyn up, and it's poked over.
That set looked like it died a little bit inside. The hitter started to take a more outside route, then saw where the ball was, decided to cut back in.
And we're going to see Miller with the hit here. She goes all the way to the back corner.
And that is in. Just caught a piece of the corner. Fantastic spot play by Miller.
Yeah, great job to pick that spot on the court and hit it. Good serve there. And hit hard, but off the block. Kelto controls in the back row.
Sent back to the back line by Gibson. You heard a call out by one of the other back row players, but the libero decided to play it.
And that's just going to have to be sent over, so free ball for Valor Christian. And Miller sends it, tries to find the donut, but dug there.
Yeah, she had a nice little roll shot. Looked like it was going to drop right in the center of the defense, but great coverage by the D'Evelyn Jaguars.
And that's four hits for Valor Christian. So D'Evelyn with the side out.
Back to serve, Jaguars.
Cressman dives and gets it. Cross-court set. Gibson with the hit, but the libero's there.
Didn't seem like she got all that one. Had the sound as if it went off her fingertips a little bit.
And that's going to be set long and out.
Sent wide left on that one.
So Valor Christian up 5-2 early in the third set.
And into the game, Carly McNeely to serve. Came in for the setter, one of the setters, Kaylee Miller. A strong swing from off the net right there by D'Evelyn. Was able to tool off the block and down on Valor Christian's side.
And the Jaguars now back to serve the libero to McNeely. Oh, good set, and Worth with the big hit there, but into a block. Now she slides over to try to block it, and she does get a piece of it. Falls on the D'Evelyn side. They send it over Valor's way. Oh, and the line. The shot down the line is...
Not sure what that call was right there, but it will go in Valor Christian's favor. Both the up ref and the down ref put up a symbol that I have not seen before.
Yeah, they seem to agree with each other, whatever it was.
And I'm not going to complain because Valor got the point.
And that's going to be into the net for D'Evelyn.
That will be Valor Christian's point. Two ref 1 points almost for us right there, but the refs do call mistakes on the other team.
And that's just floated in there into the front line.
Great short serve right there. It's so difficult to pass that if you're a back row player on D'Evelyn.
And the back row hits long, unfortunately, for Gibson. So side out, and the ball comes back the way of the Jaguars.
Just not quite enough topspin on there. Didn't snap her wrist enough.
And that's out.
Great swing right there. She was going for the short corner, but just to no avail. Barely wide left.
The Jaguars down 2. Serve it. Gibson, Baldwin to Kelso under the block. And now a long cross-court set into Valor Christian's block, but no one home for Valor Christian there in the back. The point goes the way of the Jaguars.
Yeah, it looked like some miscommunication in the back row there between McNeely and Gibson. Both thought the other was going for it, and neither went for it.
Cressman back there controls that, and that's poked over.
A couple of great jousts in a row right there between the two teams. Kelso sending it all the way back to the back line.
And that's hit into the block, a solo block for Kelso.
Fantastic cover right there by the Jaguars. Able to save that ball from going down off the block.
And that's off the roof, off the light, and down into play.
Dancing all over the place. But like we said before this match, that is allowed as long as it stays on your side.
And that's hit straight into the net. Valor Christian point.
Great rally right there, nice and long, lots of things going on, some jousting, some digging, some hitting, even the ceiling taking a few swings at it.
Oh, and Worth into the net, unfortunately. It is the middle hitter, like you said before. She'll come out, and the libero Cressman goes in on that back line.
Jaguars back to serve, down 1 here in the third set.
Kelso with the strong hit into the back line.
Split the block very well right there, but the defense was ready for that hole and covered very nicely.
And Gibson with the back row hit off the net. And that's into the net. That's going to be a 4.
Yep, no touch off the block right there. We had a pretty clear angle at it from the booth, and the ref saw the same thing we did.
Baldwin now back to serve. Valor Christian leads 9-7 here in the third set. Tied at 1 set apiece. Oh, and Gibson in the back line just couldn't quite get down far enough for that.
Devlin ran a little bit of a tandem attack right there. Had somebody going for 2, which is just a medium tempo, not up a little bit higher in the middle, and then somebody going for a back 2, which is the same thing as a front 2, except just a little bit just behind the setter. Got some interference right there, and Devlin got the point.
That's into the net, so point goes Valor Christian's way.
Back to serve Kelso. See if she can take him on a run like she did in the beginning of the second set.
Yeah, she did a great job leading off that second set for Valor Christian after they kind of lost some momentum at the end of the first one. And that's out off the pass, so Valor Christian's point.
Yeah, that first ball was not high enough by Devlin, so the setter had to revert to passing the ball again instead of a set. Just not enough control, sent it over and out.
And that sent ace.
Some miscommunication right there for Devlin, but you can see the players talking it over. One of them said, "That's my ball, I'll get it next time."
So down 4, the Jaguars take a timeout. 12-8, Valor Christian here on the Valor Sports Network. And just to give you guys an update on the fundraising efforts here for that Rocky Mountain Childhood Cancer Foundation that the D'Evelyn volleyball team is doing, they raised over $1,000.
$1,097 was the number that the PA announcer gave us here in the gym.
And now we will send it over to Peter Maris.
So Coach Nielsen just told the girls to focus on running an X2 play when free and hot are called. And told the girls to calm down and commended their excellent efforts thus far. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Peter. And getting some very specific calls right there from Coach Nielsen, very specific plays in specific situations. And we'll be interested to see how that works out for them.
Yeah, the timeout did something for the Jaguars as they win that first point immediately. And Baldwin tries to send it over, but a block was there. And now she'll send it over to Gibson, who powers it off the block and down for the Valor point.
Nice tool by Gibson there, and again, just showing off the power in her swing, able to put it off the block and almost into the stands with that one.
Haskins back to serve now for the Eagles. And she sends that toward the back row. D'Evelyn gets the hit in here and off the block and down for the D'Evelyn point.
Big hole in the block right there between Cassidy Worth and Kate Gibson. And hitter saw that and utilized it. We need to communicate a little bit better on that. That's Kate's job, the outside hitter, to set the block and tell the middle where to go up.
Oh, and the libero can't get there, but kept in by Kelso, and it's going to be a free ball for the Jaguars.
Yeah, free ball handled nicely by the Jaguars libero. and that's often what happens on a free ball.
And that is
basically just
hard.
a free point, and the offense can do whatever they would please with it.
That's sent hard and down for the D'Evelyn point. So D'Evelyn continuing their serve. The first hit there.
Gibson turning line on that one. She seems to be liking that spot a lot. Been able to have some success with it. Let's see if she mixes it up next time and goes cross.
And D'Evelyn wins another point. So they're on a run. Doing a good job out of this timeout to bring it back together.
Not quite sure what their coach said to them in the huddle, but whatever he said is working.
Again, they're going to that outside hit, Gibson.
Gibson again going down the line.
And that is down the line and in. And that is out. The line judge back on the Valor Christian side had it out, and the line judge here right in front of us in the booth on D'Evelyn's side had it in.
But ultimately, if the line judges disagree, it is the up ref's call. He can overturn it and decide who he wants to deal with. Now the D'Evelyn student section come to life.
And the scorekeepers, I believe, are having a discussion with the down ref there.
Maybe a little bit of a mix-up with the score sheet. Those can get very, very complicated.
And so they're still sorting that out. We're going to see Carly McNeely back to serve. Give us a little more info on her knuckleball serve.
Oh, well, really all you have to do, hit it with an open hand and just kind of stop your arm at the top of its swing, and that'll give it the knuckling effect. That time she's not and snaps down on it and gets a little bit of topspin.
And that's going to be over on the...
Yeah, that call was on the setter. The ref saw the way the ref saw it. The setter reached over the net and played the ball after it crossed the plane of the net.
And now the up ref and the down ref having some discussion. And they are still having that discussion. And now they have it all squared away and Valor Christian to serve. A replay.
It's interesting that the down ref overruled the up ref on that call, because normally the up ref watches the top of the net, and down ref's job is to watch the bottom of the net.
Oh, and that's just going to be sent over by Gibson.
Great way to go up, recognize that the ball was coming over, and not get too aggressive, but go up enough to get a touch on it and put it straight down.
Good job there. High volleyball IQ.
Very.
And McNeely again with the serve, and that's out.
Very close. Looked like it almost caught a piece, but the line judge saw that it was just out.
And the libero back to serve now. She has had a lot of energy throughout this game.
And that's really what you need from your defensive specialist.
Oh, and that's sent across the court and down and in.
Gibson going against what she has been all game. The defense was preparing for another swing down the line, and she switched up and went cross court and got the kill.
Gibson sends it over there. Played in the back line. Oh, and that's hit off the block and straight up.
Nice block there by Cassie Worth and Kate Gibson. Or, excuse me, Cassie Worth and Sam Baldwin.
Good rally so far. And that's just going to be sent over pretty easy to control for the D'Evelyn defenders.
A lot of defense in this one. A lot of blocks, a lot of digs.
And that's sent into the wall by that D'Evelyn player. Number 4, again, we apologize for not being able to tell you their names. She's had a lot of power on her hits so far and over in that corner, but she's found the net a couple of times too.
Yeah, it's great to have power on your swing, but if you can't control it all the time and can't just put it into the court, it's not very useful.
Gibson controls it there and unfortunately sets it away from the thick of the Valor players. So
yeah, Gibson seemed a little bit confused on how she wanted to play that. She started out passing it, but when she saw how high the ball was, she went up to use her hands, just didn't get used to it enough. Sent it off.
Oh, and Worth sits it down, and that's, oh, the libero gets back to it.
Great play right there to be able to save that ball.
Oh, and now Valor finds a hole in the defense, but they're going to say that's dug up.
Yeah, it was. Another great defensive effort, very athletic play.
And then Kelso kills it off the block. Oh, that's a tip. Absolutely, and now it's going to be called. I don't know.
Fairly obvious call, almost snuck by the refs on that one. The line judge right here seemed like he didn't even see the tip. He just called it out with his flag, but the down ref did see the tip and corrected everybody.
And that is going to be sent. Good little tap down, and McNeely diving, couldn't get to it.
Substitution in the front row for the Jaguars, maybe trying to get a little bit more control over the power swing.
Good set. Kelso again with the power down the line, and it's out.
Just long there, and that decreases Valor Christian's lead to 2, I believe. The score of 18-16 here in the third set. We're all tied up in the match, 1-1.
Absolutely great volleyball so far.
Yeah, this D'Evelyn team is really showing some heart.
Oh, and it's dug twice, but not quite 3 times.
2 fantastic plays there to get down and get the ball just enough off the ground for another touch. Just couldn't quite get it over the net.
Yeah, couldn't get it enough so that Valor could just send a free ball over. So 18-17. Oh, that's misplayed by Cressman.
And that's a very strong float serve right there, dancing back and forth, which would explain why Cressman had some difficulty playing it.
And now we're all tied up as Lars Nielsen takes the timeout for Valor Christian.
Do you know who the best player in the game is? Me, Mars Blackman. And I'm way above the rim, demonstrating some serious hang time. Very serious. Do you know how I get up for my game? Do you know? Do you know? Do you know? That's right. Air Jordan, Air Jordan, Air Jordan. Mike, what's up? Oh, money. Why you want to do that to me? Why you leave me hanging? Come on. I got it. Oh, Mike, man. That's cold.
We're back here on the Valor Sports Network, and we'll send it over to Pete Marish.
So Coach Stuart Nielsen just finished telling his players to loft the ball up high and run the middle, and that seems to be their offensive strategy so far. Back to you guys.
And they get that point to take the lead.
Yeah, it seems like D'Evelyn heard Lars too. Lofted that pass way up high, but too high, caught a piece of the Raptors and came straight down with some velocity.
Oh, and that's going to be tipped over wonderfully for the Jaguars.
Yeah, she did a very good job of selling that like she was going to swing away, put the defense back on their heels, and tipped it up short.
And that's sent over. Back line. Oh, a little miscommunication, and Kelso sends it straight into the net. Really mishit that.
Yeah, they're struggling a little bit with these serves. D'Evelyn is a very strong serving team. They just took the lead 20-19 here in the third set.
So again, this third set coming down to the wire as the other two have. And set over beautifully by Kaylee Miller.
What a wonder good high pass can do. They did exactly what Coach Nielsen asked them to, put it up high and got the kill.
Absolutely wonderful there for Valor Christian to tie this up. And the momentum just keeps going back and forth.
Yeah, no team can really get a strong footing.
Oh, and Gibson plays it down the line, and that's in.
She put that up nice and high, and it thing just dropped like a rock and caught a piece of the back line. That will be a kill.
All of D'Evelyn's bench was calling it out, but both the line judge and the up judge.
Yeah, both line refs and the up ref and the down ref all called that one in, so not much to argue there.
And Valor Christian with a 2-point lead, and now D'Evelyn takes the timeout. And we'll be back on the Valor Sports Network.
You know, the gill straps aren't really moving. They're being robbed. These crooks know the gill straps are out of town, so they're trying to move the gill straps permanently. They figure they look like movers, they act like movers, so who's gonna know? The Joneses. They know.
Dad, aren't the gill straps in Toledo?
I think they're being robbed.
Should we call the police?
Call the police.
See, the Joneses know. If they don't tell the cops now, the Gilstraps will have to tell them later.
Hello, this is Harry.
Meanwhile, these fellas are eating lunch, about a block away.
Car 21.
Hey, hot pastrami.
And we will send it again to our good friend Peter Maris down on the court.
So Coach Nielsen just told the players to attack the other team's libero with their shots and to also stay high up through the middle. Back to you guys.
Yeah, Coach Nielsen is really stressing the use of their middle hitter right there.
Oh, and they come right after her for the point.
And there it is. Of course, it wasn't a traditional set for the middle. It was just an overpass. But Cassidy Worth, who I believe is in the middle, was able to put that one away.
That was, I believe, Haskins.
My mistake. That was Brooke Haskins. Line judge is standing right in front of me. I can't really see all too well right now.
We both kind of had to deal with that, but that point goes the way of D'Evelyn. So not out of the woods yet for Valor Christian, 23-21, late in the third set. And that tips the net, but goes over. Oh, and Haskins, is it now the long set? Oh, good hit.
Great up right there. With some miscommunications between the between the libero, Cressman, and the outside hitter, Gibson. And Cressman had to just send it over with the free ball.
Great job of keeping that ball alive by Valor Christian. Oh, and off the block and out. D'Evelyn is within one once again.
Great turn by the left-handed hitter right there on the right side for D'Evelyn. Able to put it off the outside of Gibson's block and out into the stands.
Yeah, the great defensive play. Unfortunately, didn't contribute to a Valor point, but that's out. And on the serve to set up a set point, that's
great recognition of where they were on the court right there for Valor. They figured out the ball was going just a little bit too high and went out long.
And now the set point here down that line. Oh, and that's going to be a high pass sent to the back. Haskins, Baldwin. Oh, and it's
Gibson
killed.
With a fantastic cross-court shot right there. Not even going deep corner, trying to hit short corner straight across the net, and she does it fantastically.
So Valor Christian takes home the third set, So now they lead 2-1 here on the Valor Sports Network.
Get your skis shined up, grab a stick of juicy fruit. The taste is gonna move ya. Take a sniff, pull it out. The taste is gonna move ya when you pop it in your mouth. Juicy fruit is gonna move ya. It keeps us soft, it gets right to ya. Juicy fruit, the taste is gonna move ya.
It's the truth. Your principal can't smile, can't swim, can't rap, and I can't stand bubble tape. Your school bus driver can't drive, wears curlers, makes funny noises, won't try bubble tape.
No way, Jose.
Bubble tape. It's 6 feet of bubble gum for you, not them. It's
Who could that be? It's Charles Barkley with today's word.
Today's word is fined.
Tell the boys and girls how you get fined, Charles.
You can get fined for a lot of things, like yelling, arguing, and bad-mouthing an official, but most of all for fighting.
Have you ever been fined, Charles?
Never, ever.
No. Charles is a great player, but he has a lousy memory.
Never, ever.
And we are set to get back underway. Start of the fourth set. Valor Christian leading 2-1. And that will put them in control of this so far.
Yeah, if they take this set, that will be the match, and Valor will increase the record to 10-0.
Yeah, and that'll set them up for the a couple matches, and then they got the tournament in Arizona over fall break.
Yeah, the Tournament of Champions. I was talking to Coach Nielsen before this game. He is very excited for that.
Yeah, I get to see a lot of national competition, and that's fun for everyone and a fun little trip for the girls.
Also, it will give them some time to play against some of the greatest teams in the country. So that will be some great experience for them for when they come back to Colorado.
Yeah, I get set up for a playoff run. And they should, they're in position to host a district most likely. And they did that last year, and VSN had a lot of coverage of that, and it was a lot of fun.
It was a good time. It's always a good time.
And now we're seeing the down referee sort something out on the D'Evelyn side.
The only thing I can think of is that it was something going on with the lineup that D'Evelyn turned in. They must have had a mistake on it.
So we'll see Clara Kelso back to serve.
Kelso serving at the beginning of the fourth set, excuse me.
And that goes right into the block, right into the net.
That will be a 4 call. Point Valor.
One thing that's kind of interesting about volleyball is they switch the benches when the teams switch sides.
Yep, they want to keep all malicious feelings out of the court by keeping the teams on the same side as their benches in case something does happen or words are exchanged.
And now someone trotting off for the
Substitution
Jaguars.
For D'Evelyn.
And we'll see what the Jaguars, what adjustments they made. Oh, and that's just missed by Cressman.
That serve was dancing all over the place, moving back and forth, up and down. Cressman just could not get a good hold on that and whiffed a little bit.
So we'll see if the server brings that again, and she will right after Cressman, and she dives to get it and almost overpasses it, but Gibson hits it long down the line.
She was going for that line. It was wide open, but just put it a little bit long.
A little eager with her line shots. And Valor Christian tearing a good backline hit there by Kelso. And now she sets that.
This D'Evelyn team is playing fantastic defense in all of these sets. They're getting up some balls that most teams would not be able to.
And Haskins sends that away for the Valor point.
Back to serve, Haskins.
And Haskins sends it down the side. And that's going to be hit over to Haskins. And Baldwin passes it. Oh, and Kelso with a big hit into the back row. Oh, and right on the first hit, the overpass. Gibson tried to kill it and finds the block set up.
Gibson got a little bit excited. She went for it all, but there was a block up. She struggled to see that and get it over.
And now this goes to Cressman. They're coming after Libero so far this set.
Yeah, well, until she proves that she's going to pass every ball perfectly, I think they'll continue to go at her.
Oh, and that one gets up there.
Close to the rafters on that one. Gibson takes a nice swing over the block to take that out of the equation.
And that is going to be long.
Good reaction time by Kelso to stay out of the way of that one, or else that could have extended the point and given D'Evelyn another chance.
And the ball comes in a little late.
Not quite sure what was going on there. Just zoning out a little bit.
Ball girl didn't have her head in the game.
Always got to keep your head in the game when you have an important job like ball girl.
And this ball is sent long for the Jaguars. So now we see Kaylee Miller
back to serve again.
She sends that into the back row. And that's killed right into the block and down. Or
great block right there. You have Gibson, Worth in the front row, and they're just deadly when they get a solid block up on you. So hard to hit around them, through them, over them, anything.
Yeah, they're just such imposing figures up there with their height. And that is killed down with a lot of force.
Put straight down. She found the hole in between the block, Worth and Baldwin. Was put straight down under the waiting arms of Kelso.
And that's controlled by the libero. So again, this entire match has just been closely contested.
Yeah, back and forth. I'm not sure if anybody was counting the lead changes, but I'd have to guess it's somewhere upwards of 20.
Absolutely. Oh, and Kelso dives and digs it, but that is down, and Coach Nielsen having some words with his team.
Coming out on the court to give some encouragement, no doubt. He's a very encouraging coach, likes to be there for his team whenever they're starting to struggle.
Oh, and that's hit hard by Gibson and in.
Great swing to the back line, and that's where most kills will come from. Any coach that you talk to will say that you will get more points by swinging high and hard than trying to bounce the ball straight down.
Strong hit from the big arm of Gibson. And the serve, and Kelso, that's going to be Miller who overpasses it, excuse me.
Some miscommunication on the Devlin side, on the other side of the court.
Worth gets it straight into the block, and then Baldwin finds herself near the net, trying to stay out of the way, but can't.
Devlin will take a 2-point lead, 8-6 here in the fourth set. Valor Christian leads 2-1.
That ball sent over. Oh, Gibson with a big hit, but out.
Yeah, she was really gunning for that back left corner, but just could not find it, could not bring it down enough.
Yeah, had some space there in that corner, and that is going to be missed.
This ball coming back to us. Could not be corralled by any of the Valor Christian players in pursuit. Devlin will take a 4-point lead.
Yeah, they're getting a little bit of a run.
Seems like this could be the greatest lead by Devlin in the match so far. It's been so closely contested. I believe the greatest lead overall is when Valor took a 5-0 lead at the beginning of the second. And this is almost at 5, not quite here in the fourth.
Cassidy Worth comes in to serve, and timeout Valor. And maybe there's some strategy with the serve here on the Valor Sports Network. We will again send it over to Peter Maris on the sideline.
Coach Nielsen called up that last time out to draw up a play and also tell his players to pick up the tempo a little bit and come at it with some energy. All right, back to you guys.
Good block for Valor Christian. On the point immediately after the timeout. Oh, what a slide.
Great cutback slide right there for Brooke Haskins. She runs it so well, able to go up and bring her momentum up to the right, then take her arm and swing it back down to the left.
Worth still serving, Valor Christian down 2. Oh, and Worth can't get there, and that again comes towards us.
Seems like they're coming after us here from the Devlin side. A couple balls have been hit our direction and almost taking our computer and our producer, Carrick Henderson.
Carrick always does a great job running the broadcast for us.
And another slide from Brooke Haskins. Not so successful this time, but still got it over.
Oh, and that is hit hard, and Cressman can't control it.
Great read by Cressman. She was in the right spot, just could not react fast enough to get it up.
Miller sends it over.
Gibson was gearing up to take a swing at that one, but Miller steps right in front.
Oh, good block from Valor Christian, but it's hit out.
Yeah, just did not turn the ball back into the court quite enough and went out wide right. Into the game for Valor Christian, Katie Bradbury in for Kaylee Miller.
First time we've seen her tonight.
Interesting strategy. D'Evelyn does not go right at the new player in the game. You'd think that they might want to because she's coming in cold.
She's down there guarding that line. Oh, and this set's going to go to Kelso, and Kelso off the block and down.
Great job. Split the blocking away. And back into the game, Kaylee Miller for Katie Bradbury. Short stint by Bradbury in that case, but she did her job apparently. Valor got the side out.
Yeah, she's real happy down over there on the bench. We haven't seen Megan Moritz today, and that is the only Valor player who has not made an appearance.
Or Kylie McDaniels as well.
Excuse me.
She's recently injured, come off the disabled list, so to speak. Her knee is healed quite nicely, so it would appear, because she's back on the bench and practicing.
Yeah, she unfortunately suffered that injury. But good to see that she's getting healthy. Cressman controls it. Good opportunity here for Valor Christian. Oh, and the cutback is defended well by D'Evelyn, and they're going to...
Great short corner off-speed shot right there. Caught D'Evelyn a little bit off guard and got the free ball back.
And that goes into the block, tipped down. Oh, and up there, a little bit of a jump ball, if you will, at the net.
Yeah, that'd be a joust in volleyball terms, but that was a bit of an unfair one because it was Clara Kelso against two D'Evelyn Jaguars.
Oh, and a good job of Haskins to get that over the block.
Yeah, just pushed it right through their fingertips.
Valor Christian still dealing with this poor 4-point deficit.
Yeah, every time they side out, it seems they lose the very next point and they're not able to get anything.
And that is sent long from the D'Evelyn hitter. So Valor Christian with the serve, and we'll see Kelso. And
Coach Nielsen coming out almost to the court to give his team some encouragement. Really wants to take this one.
That serve's going to the first zone.
Yeah, that's the zone Coach Nielsen called, and that's where Kelso put it.
And Valor Christian in the net, I do believe.
Yeah, that was the call. Not sure who was on. It was either Miller, Baldwin, or Haskins. They're the three front row players right now.
It's unfortunate for Valor Christian when they're trying to make a comeback. Cressman, Baldwin. Oh, and into the...
right off the top of the tape, but was still able to get over.
Oh, and that block is dug.
Great dig by Baldwin right there.
Oh, and some momentum for Valor Christian as that is missed pass from the D'Evelyn Jaguars for the Valor point.
Great off-speed roll shot right there from Kate Gibson. She saw that the defense was playing a little bit farther back, so just put it just barely over the top of the block. Got down.
Cressman over. And that is hit down, but a diving Valor player makes the...
Great dig by Baldwin there, then a great play by Miller to dig it out of the net as well.
And that gets over Worth and down, so 16-12.
Back to that 4-point deficit. Kaylee Miller is getting fired up there. Yelling all over the court, being loud, doing what she does.
Oh, and Worth kills that.
Almost no block up there, and she just went to town on that. You don't put a block up on a hitter like Worth, you will not dig it back up.
Yeah, great momentum swing for Valor Christian. We'll see if they can run with it a little bit with Miller back to serve. Oh, and that's off the ceiling.
Caught a piece of the ceiling there, but played nicely by D'Evelyn.
Now a good chance for a strong hit. Gibson, oh, finds the corner and the momentum.
That was just a great play from start to finish. Fantastic pass. Set died a little bit inside, but Gibson sold it well as she was going cross court and cut it just back enough to get it out of the reach of the defense.
Momentum is swinging back the Valor Christian way here. Only down 2 now. Oh, and just the same. It goes off the face of Kaylee Miller and out for the D'Evelyn point.
Yeah, not a lot of reaction time there. A one-up block on the middle. Just hit around the block of Worth and off Miller.
Oh, the libero serves, and she tries to do a little snake eyes action. Look one way, hit it the other.
Yeah, almost worked. Caught a piece of the tape and almost caught a piece of the line on the near side. Just out.
Kate Gibson back. Oh, Kelso on the overpass. Tries to kill it, but the block is there. Oh, and that's a strong hit that can't be corralled.
Yeah, strong, deep hit. Nice and low, just tipped off the side of the pass.
So 18-15, the Jaguars lead. They have led this set from the start. And it's hard to play catch-up. And that gets over for Kelso. Oh, a long set into the net. Once again on the far side.
Caught a piece of the antenna halfway down the net, so that will be out on contact. Back to serve, Worth. She waits no time putting this ball into the court, maybe hoping to catch D'Evelyn off guard and not give him any time to recuperate after that last point.
And she's getting set to come out for Cressman as the middle hitter. Not going to spend too much time on the back row.
Yeah, no, you don't. They're not exactly the best passers on the team. Not saying they're terrible. There are better passers like the libero, because that is the libero specialist.
And that is controlled on the back line by Gibson. Oh, they run the slide again. And that's going to be overpass, but good job on defense there for the Jaguars to keep this set alive. Now the rally is poked over.
A little bit too high on that tip there. Brooke Haskins had time to land from her block jump.
And that gets down for the D'Evelyn point. So again, the lead stretches to 4. And maybe a timeout coming for Coach Nielsen, and that's what it will see. And we'll be back. Valor Christian down 4, 20-16 to the D'Evelyn Jaguars in the 4th set. You're watching the Valor Sports Network. We'll send it over to Peter.
So Coach Nielsen was just telling his players to up the aggression and also to hit it into the 5 and the 1 zones and also the 6 and 4 if they're open. That's all. Back to you guys.
So some volleyball knowledge being dropped there by Peter Maris. And when he talks about the 5 and 1 zones and the 4 and 6 if they're open, 1, 5, and 6 are the 3 zones along the back line, and 4 is the short middle zone, or short left side zone. My apologies.
So Valor Christian wins that point, and Baldwin sends it over.
That is into the net by the Jaguars, and it is down to that deficit is down to 2 points for Valor with their best server, Sam Baldwin, back to serve.
So if Baldwin can get it done here for the Eagles, this is going to be an interesting end to the 4th set.
Yeah, she can take them home to victory right here.
Good block there by the Eagles. Oh, nice tap.
Nice little roll shot there by Kelso, putting it short enough, almost causing some havoc on the defense.
The cross-court shot is out.
Miller very close, almost caught that far side line, but just out.
We're seeing some of that aggressive play, though, which is good for the Eagles.
Yeah, that's exactly what Coach Nielsen wanted. He asked them to pick up the aggression.
Cressman, Baldwin, to Haskins. She tried to poke it over. Block is there, and then it's sent straight into the net.
Overpass sent into the net. That is not what you want to do when you're a player. You can get down on yourself very easily by hitting an overpass into the net.
Kelso just sends it over. And that's hit hard and out. So Valor Christian within one, 21-20.
Yeah, high swing right there from D'Evelyn. Tried to get it over the block, which they did, but could not bring it down in time to catch a piece of the court.
That's a good serve there by Kelso. And Valor Christian ties it up.
Very smart play by Miller there.
And
she went straight up on the overpass. She could have put it back down the line, but that's where all the defense was. She went back across the court. Very high volleyball
D'Evelyn.
IQ.
And we will be back on the Valor Sports Network. And we are ready for Peter Maris once again.
So Coach Nielsen was just telling his players some congratulations for their great little comeback right there, and also telling them where to run from, and just a couple of minor defensive adjustments, and that's all back to you guys.
And that is set long for another Valor Christian point. They take the lead for the first time in this set, 22-21, and they are getting hot right when it counts.
Yep. It doesn't matter whether you lead the whole way. If you can't finish off the set, you will not win any matches.
So Valor Christian with the serve, Kelso. And the D'Evelyn players are all over, and another point for the Eagles.
And this is a huge momentum shift for the Eagles right here. If they win the next 2 points, then they can take this match in 4.
And that timeout, I believe, will go D'Evelyn's way once again here on the Valor Sports Network.
Now we're going to send it over to our good friend, Peter Maris. Peter?
All right, so Coach Nielsen right there was just telling his players to stay loud and aggressive, and also giving them some minor individual adjustments as to where to play. And that's all. Back to you guys.
Valor Christian 1 point away, and D'Evelyn is seeing a little bit of nervousness over there.
Pressure's on right now. This has been a huge momentum swing. D'Evelyn had a 4-point lead, and now they're in a 3-point deficit with the match on the line.
And now they're going to see the hit here into the net. D'Evelyn's down, and Valor Christian takes this here on the Valor Sport Network.
That shows the great heart of this Valor team to be able to come back from adversity and win this